I hope that 2022 is treating you well. It's been a bit of a ride so far. And so I'm here to talk about what's going to be coming up as the energetic themes for April through to June, specifically in relation to your business. But I'll do some background first to explain where we're coming from. So the period of time seems to be focused on finding your center and finding your balance. And that may be preceded by a period of time when you are really trying to find your footing as you move into a period of embodiment of yourself, of your beliefs, and of your values. So this quarter is going to be moving you from the discovery that you've been doing into the becoming of what you've been creating for yourself. So you're going to need to be very conscious of the changes and the differences that are happening, as well as that feeling of freedom that is going to emerge out of this process of choosing consciously to embody all that you have been creating. So it's very much a threshold that we are crossing now to become what it is that has been brewing within us. So it's a time we're going to move into that new way, which means that we're also going to be leaving stuff behind. And I think it's really important to acknowledge the passing of, whether it's a belief, it might be a connection, it might be something that you've always done, a behavior or a habit you've had that is no longer going to stick with you into the future. It's important to acknowledge that and maybe even grieve that, because it's about our sense of identity. So it's about losing one sense of identity and gaining another, perhaps. And that's going to be quite a big theme. And that's going to have quite a big impact on you. But that said, this quarter has a really positive feel. It feels very optimistic. It's got like this sunrise quality to it. To sustain that optimism, that's why it's important to really acknowledge the changes that are going to be happening and you're going to be seeing, no matter how small they may feel. It's all about the incremental shifts that you're making. So, as I said, the initial phase may have you feeling kind of confused, a little bit lost, as you're trying to find your feet, and you're going to need to recalibrate and adjust as you are finding your balance. And going to be so important for you to give yourself that time and space without argument. Not always easy to do, but it's going to be key for you to move through this period and consolidate and integrate everything that you're going to learn. So the feeling I have of this, as I said, is very optimistic. It's got a real sunrise quality. And in fact, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me playing in the back of my head when I was leaning into the energy. So it's a liberating time. It's got a very spacious feel to it. It's gentle, it's unhurried. The important thing is to show up for yourself. And to take responsibility for getting things in motion, choosing to take action on what it is that you want to create. That's the really important thing here, having your own back, showing up for what you're doing. It's going to be a journey back to yourself. It's going to be a remembering and a becoming. It's all of those things. You're going to sort of like integrate the parts of you that have perhaps been completely dormant or sidelined. It's going to be a time when things just suddenly start to come together. And that's going to be hugely powerful for you and transformative, which is why, although it may feel like it starts quite slowly, it's going to pick up with that speed or intensity. It's going to move quite quickly as all of that starts to drop into place. So as I said, this quarter is about choosing to embody what it is that you want to create. And that happens through the actions that you take. And they need to flow from the energy. They need to flow naturally from you rather than being contrived and created logically. They really do need to come from within. So you're choosing to act from a different place. And it may feel, as I said, it may feel slow initially as that's working its way into being, but it's going to pick up speed. So it's going to be really important as you build this new version of you, this new normal, that you have that clarity of direction and commitment to the path that you want to follow, because that's really going to support you. Not in a prescriptive way, but as a guide. And it's a period of time when you really need to be pressing the go button. It's about taking the action. Believe, commit, and let go. Let the energy in. This is going to be key for you. Feel it so that you can respond to it in your own way, on your own terms, moving from your center, trusting the signals and trusting what you know to be true. So that's the background. So now we have the business themes and how that's going to show up for your business. I think the main thing when it comes to business is to pause, feel, listen to yourself. That's going to be your guiding principle, your guiding mantra for this coming period, because it's a time when you're going to learn to move from a different place, disengage your brain, engage your body as a tool of discernment. And that's a big transformation, and that's a big transition to make in your business if you've started to do that, but you haven't really fully committed to doing that. This is going to be the time when you can be supported energetically to really let go of the logical, intellectually, analytically led ways of doing business and really drop into your body to use that as your guide. So commit in this time to really activate, actualize, realize the parts that you have been, parts of you, the parts of your business, the parts of your interest that have been kind of dormant, kind of sidelined, trying to work their way in, but not really finding their place. This is the time that you can give them that space and the opportunity to drop in. If you need a mentor or a guide in this period, then yeah, absolutely get one, but get one who understands and sees what it is that you're doing rather than one who's going to try and control you, because this is about finding that momentum from within. And if you have a mentor who is trying to tell you what to do and how to do it, then that you're not going to be cultivating that inner wisdom, and that's what's going to sustain you moving forward. So you want to be have someone who is going to allow you to flow with what you're feeling. So map out as well what you're creating and be conscious of what you're letting go. Let go of systems that feel out of step, beliefs that you can't defend anymore, and perceptions that you know are limiting you. It's so important to hear the call that you're getting and to respond to it, to take action upon it and come to that call with presence and soul. So take responsibility for your business expansion, for its presence in the world and its focus, so that you can create that momentum and come from within to catalyze it and get it going. So the freedom you afford your business in this quarter is going to pay you back in hugely. It's going to get a lot of dividends. So breathe out, let go, trust yourself, trust your business, and move into embodying the new. That's a challenging time. So you may be tempted to drop out of it when it pushes some buttons. Stay with it, acknowledge the changes that happen, no matter how small they are, whether internal or external, and sustain your conscious awareness of it. So the key points I would say for this quarter are: get clear on what you want to be different, what you're going to leave behind, and what you're going to adopt. So get really clear on how you create what it is that you've been working towards creating by doing those three things. Be present and stay with it, and be conscious of the changes. Those are the three things that I think are really important to support your business and allow it to grow in the coming period. Now, looking at that that's looking at it for your business. Now, what about looking at it for your clients, and what are your clients going to be looking for? I think the key things here are that they're going to be looking for a lot of clarity. They're going to be feeling lost and confused. They also may be in freeze mode. So they're going to be looking for something to move them out of that. They're going to be asking for clarity. They're going to be asking for that guidance. Really important that you turn them within to do that rather than offer it to them. They're also going to be looking for leadership, because whenever things are uncertain, all eyes are out and all antennae are looking for leadership. So the purpose of embodying the change that you want to see, really letting go of everything and choosing to embody it is going to make you that very visible leader that is going to take them forward, and be attractive to them. They're going to be looking for reassurance because there's going to be a lot of fear around in this period of time. It's going to raise its head in all sorts of ways. And they're going to be looking for permission to change from others, or from themselves. I mean, embodying the change gives others, you embodying the change gives others permission, and can move things into being very much more quickly. But I would say that one of the most important things about this period of time in terms of supporting your clients is having quiet presence. That really high octane, high adrenaline, sort of overexcited approach is not going to support them very well as they're moving through this quite intense period of time where their systems are actually being potentially battered. They will need to be slowing down, calming down. So quiet presence is the key to help them connect to their core and get the most out of this period of time. So that's the energetic themes for business for April to June 2022. It's going to be a time of considerable change. It may not necessarily look like a huge amount on the outside, but you will know that there's been a huge shift on the inside, and that's changing what you're bringing, how you're bringing it, and the impact that it's having. So I think for me, it's about saying that this period of time is one where you just, it's about really giving your business the permission to do what it came here to do. And you may feel that that's happened, incrementally. This is potentially going to be quite a big whoosh energy into that. And there are some key shifts that we're going to feel in terms of understanding that our driving force is coming from a different place. So it's certainly going to start with needing to drop into your body as your tool of guidance and discernment for your business rather than your head. That's going to be the key shift that we're all going to notice. Whether or not that's in ourselves or in others, it's going to be very obvious that that's something that's coming up. So it's going to be a big time for us to make the changes that we've been working towards. And that's what this year is all about. The whole of this year is focused on the embodiment of change and the actualization of change. And so it's time to go, time to move, to get clear on what it is that you're creating, what you want to see happening, and what you need to let go of in order to make that happen. And have a great quarter.